You never retired. I didn't realize it. Somebody said to me the other, and exactly there, I started to take 11 o'clock naps.
But you do want to do that. Hi, Kowie. Welcome in my
Linda,
world. How are you today?
I'm good, and you?
Great, thank you. Kowie, tell us a little bit about yourself, about who's Kowie Swart and what makes you tick.
Kowie Swart was born and bred in Pretoria, South Africa. Type of a loner, traveler,
Ooh, traveler.
worked in the nursing profession for 42 years, and I'm out now because I came to a stage where I felt this is not working for me anymore. But I think 42 years is long enough.
What are you doing right now? How long have you been retired? What are you doing right now?
I have been out of nursing for 7 years. Haven't retired because I'm actually still working. I'm a practitioner in foster EFT
Okay.
and seeing clients on a daily basis, helping them to battle through life.
What's really interesting is what inspired you to become a coach? I mean, from healing bodies, now
To healing the
healing
mind.
healing mind, emotions, whatever. No, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was one of those miracles, magical things that happened. At the end of my 42 years career, I was working in the theater and I was doing the drugs, not doing it, but handling the drugs,
Okay.
and quite stressful because the seven theaters running and all of them in the mornings, they come and fetch all the drugs for all the cases that they are going to do during the day.
Yeah.
And because it's scheduled stuff, at the end of the day, they have to bring it back and something is missing and it wasn't entered. And a lot of legal stuff. I don't know if you're aware, luckily not where I live, but there are some of the doctors that will use some of the stuff. So
That's so
you
true.
have to be very vigilant. And a very good friend of mine, Mornay Libber, I was so stressed that day, and he said, "Look, beside you, there's a snake on the floor." I think he was trying to break the trance, and I said, "Bring it on. I will breastfeed it." And he said, wait. And then he introduced me to Robert Jean Smith, and I watched 3 videos. And I said, this is what I want to do.
It is such a blessing when you find exactly what you would like to do for the rest of your life.
It's amazing.
And Kobe, that is the area that I'm working in, helping
Yeah.
women transition from a working career into retirement, but still working. We do not need to retire ever in our lives.
No, it's been 7 years. I didn't realize it. Somebody said to me the other day, you never retired. And exactly there, I started to take 11 o'clock naps.
But you do want to do that. I like
Just
that.
to show that I am retired.
Yeah. Okay, as a coach, we all have different tools and techniques and that we can specialize in. We obviously use a lot of the same things in any way and quite a lot of different things, but we like to specialize in something specific. You've already mentioned now Eve, what
Faster EFT.
faster EFT. Tell us a little
Yeah.
bit more about that.
The original, or where it started, was EFT or tapping, emotional focus transformation. Robert Smith did the EFT, and then he said there is more to this. So he built it up from neuro-linguistic programming, hypnotherapy, EFT, and neuroplasticity.
Oh,
All those modalities into this one fast, powerful modality.
Okay.
That's why they call it faster EFT.
We are not going to go into the detail and what it is all about. What I want to know is, what is the benefit of using this modality for your client? What problems could your client have that you can solve just like that for them with this technique?
I would like to say anything. We build programs from 1 year to 7 years.
That's right.
We just take it in.
That's right.
Into that, we form a view of the world.
That's right.
And that is how we react to the world.
Yeah.
So mostly trauma, people get stuck in this trauma world, and they carry anger, they carry distrust, whatever it is they carry. I would like to give an example. I was in a light airplane emergency landing. 93% of those are fatal.
Yeah.
And I spent a long time in the air because we had to fly to get rid of the fuel. A big plane will dump the fuel. A small plane cannot do it.
Yeah.
And then we went into the landing and we had to land on the belly of the plane.
Yeah.
So I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Yeah.
One session, faster FD. One session.
Yeah.
I could put down the antidepressants. I could look at that thing and say, why? And I was healed so much that I could fly over the world to do faster FT, the studies, fly to Greece, fly to the USA, where in the past I couldn't even think of the sound that plane's belly made on the tarmac.
That's right, yeah. And you really had a very traumatic experience. In a session that I had with a counselor, she almost slapped me when I told her I didn't have any traumas in my life. So I cannot understand why I'm reacting the way that I do. She said, don't you ever dare to try and compare yourself with somebody else's life. Trauma is trauma. And what somebody else experienced as part of life could have been very traumatic for you. So nobody must ever think that they've escaped trauma. We all, and I mean we all, have experienced trauma. You are absolutely right by saying that everybody would benefit from this. And the thing is that we have to unpack our limiting beliefs, because the trauma that we experience manifest into limiting beliefs. I'm not good enough. I'm not capable. I won't ever be able to do things like this. If any of those type of words ever come out of your mouth, it is a sure sign that you've experienced some sort of trauma for you yourself. So it's really, it doesn't need to be something dramatic.
We have taken this word and we have decided it's big stuff.
That's right.
Trauma is everything or anything that happens to you that was against who you are or not approved by who you are.
Exactly.
And I mean, if you think about it, trauma, these days there's trauma in religion and in churches, all the fear-based things, all the, we all have it.
Absolutely.
Some of us just suppress it better than others.
And that's the scary part. You shouldn't. You shouldn't also not be living it out in anger. There are so much more things that
we don't know how.
That's right.
This is the program that we have decided this will keep us safe.
That's right. Now, I know a little bit about tapping, EFT, but for the viewers that don't know anything about it, can you describe a little bit of what you are doing and that it is not at all intrusive? What is the science base sort of behind that? Why is it working so well, without really explaining absolutely everything and trying to, the simple way, try and explain it for somebody that is in grade 7.
Okay. We are aware of stress. We are aware of the organs that create stress in our bodies. So we call it meridians or nerve ends. On your face, there are nerve ends of all these big stress organs. So when you're tapping, you're actually tapping on the areas where the nerve ends are. So the message that your body is getting is you are safe. So when I use the tapping, first of all, I take you to the place of stress, of trauma. And then we use a method where we take you to the trauma, out of the trauma, to the trauma, out of it. The big thing in the end is your body gets the message, I'm okay, I'm safe. So you get the opportunity to get rid of all the emotional baggage that is part of that incident. So in the end of the session, you could look at this traumatic event and you can say to yourself, it's really not bothering me anymore. For so many years, I was trapped in this thing, and now it's not bothering you anymore. So, what do we do then? The important part is the Bruce Lipton part is to rewrite because your subconscious mind does not know the difference between real and not real. Your subconscious mind, anything.
Yeah.
So you can rewrite it, whatever happened. Instead of a beating, it could be a hug. And then you keep on repeating and refeeding that into your subconscious mind. So what happens is there's a neural path that is formed when trauma happens. And every time we revisit it, it's like a footpath. When you walk in the field and a footpath is so deep because it's been walked over so many times, then that is taken away, it's removed, and a new neural path is formed.
Okay, great. So it is really just changing the story that you've attached to this whole thing to a more acceptable story for yourself to make sure that it is no longer
And
the
it can
meaning
only
that you give.
happen, yes, can only happen if you got rid of the emotions
That's right.
or whatever. And you know what, Linda? A smell
Yes,
can take you back to an event. A
that's true.
sound. That's how we are made. And that's why when we do the session, we go to the tone of voice, we go to the expressions on the faces, all these things.
Yeah.
And the minute you get rid of that, you can sit back and say, why did it bother me so much?
Yeah. Good. Kowie, I can really see that this is a passion for you. You love what you're doing.
Love what I do, and it's magical. And you know what? I worked with somebody for some time, and then she will or he will be on holiday and say, you know what I thought about you today? I had to meet my parents after so many years of fighting, and it was magical. We could have a conversation.
Lovely.
No, I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah. Kowie, what has been the greatest achievement in your life that you are most proud of?
I really have two answers to that. The first one is that I could be healed to be able to fly again.
Okay.
And the other one was it's from my nursing career. I worked in the ER many, 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 many years. So
For those that
trauma,
don't know what is ER is.
it's the casualty department or
Yeah.
the trauma unit. And after that, I became a night matron. And one evening, I was walking towards the trauma unit and I heard crying.
Oh no.
And I went and looked for where is it coming from. And it was a husband and wife sitting in the waiting room of the ICU. And I went to sit with them. I introduced myself and I said, is there anything that I can do for you? What's going on? And they had to sign the consent for the machines to be put off on their child. And it's a 21-year-old boy.
I
He had an aneurysm and there's nothing they could do for him. And I was brave enough to comfort them for a while and then say to them, have you ever thought of organ donation? And they said, no. I said, would you consider it? Yes, they would. I went in and I said, don't switch off the machine. And I went out and we discussed it. The mom was upset because, we've got pictures in our head what it looks like. It's actually just like a normal operation.
Mm.
So many times afterwards, 7 people had the benefit of that decision.
Yeah.
The cornea, the heart, the lungs, the liver, the kidneys. Many, many, many times afterwards, I said to myself, you were born for this moment.
There you are.
It was so big. It was so, that was a big moment for me.
Kowie, this is something that I'm also very passionate about. I'm also an organ donor, and my late husband was also an organ donor. And in the end, very few of his organs could be used because there was too long a time lapse in that.
Yeah.
But this is something that all families should discuss right from the beginning.
Yeah.
You don't need to sit in that moment and try and make decisions. If you've made that decision beforehand, it is so much easier. Yeah, I'm so glad that this came up, and you and I can actually teach people about this very important thing that people should know about. No.
Yeah. And you know what the strange thing is? The husband, the father, his dad was in the medical profession. I cannot remember what.
My goodness.
Whether he was a dentist or whatever
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah.
It wasn't an option, but I also think, Linda, that the people working in the hospitals should also be educated.
Yeah.
Because of working in trauma,
Yeah.
we knew.
Yeah.
But we have to switch off the machine, sign here.
Yeah.
21 years old, a farmer's kid.
Yeah.
Working in sunshine, well built.
Yeah.
There wasn't something that they could not use.
Exactly.
But yes, that was.
That is so beautiful. And isn't it amazing how life happens, that you were there at the right moment,
Yes,
not only to console this couple, but also to give this type of advice and to know that something out of their absolute despair, something beautiful was also being born. No?
I walked, after I spoke to them, I had to start with the arrangements, and I went to the trauma unit. And the doctor that was there, he said, why are you so hurried? And I explained what happened. And the next minute, this man just hugged me.
Mm.
And I said, what's going on now? And he said, those are friends of mine. And because they are friends, I didn't feel it was my place to suggest.
Can you believe that?
I'm so glad you were there at the right time.
You see.
I still get goosebumps, Linda. So it's really, if I can, it's like a heavenly experience. It's not from this world, really.
Absolutely.
The whole way it was orchestrated was so, that was my big moment in my life.
Well, I really wish you more moments like that. And that brings me to the next question. What is the one thing that you are looking forward to still achieve in your life?
Except for travel. And I think you can see behind me on the wall, I'm
Yes.
an artist. I do mosaic and I do felt work and I paint and I'm enjoying that. So yes, those are things that I would still like to continue to do. The one big thing is that I would like to have a practice where I can just relax and know, very few of my clients come from advertisements. Sorry, 90% of my clients come from word of mouth.
Beautiful. You're so
So
blessed.
people achieve peace of mind and they share it with their friends.
There you go.
I think I can do that till I'm 80, about.
I differ. I think you can do it till you're 100. But anyway, Kowie, I really wish you absolutely everything that you are hoping for. And I wish you an experience where you are going to have something similar with a breakthrough, a mental breakthrough in a family. I really wish
Wonderful.
you a lot of those in your career. Now,
Thank
quickly,
you.
what inspiration can you share with women who also want to pursue their personal dreams and feel like they are not ready right now? Is there a
Yeah.
message that you can give them?
One thing that I would like to say is your present situation becomes your comfort zone, and that makes you scared to leave that place of comfort. Get up and do it. Do it for yourself. There is so much joy in finding your purpose. There's so much joy. Do it. Do it for yourself. Reach out. Get motivated, but do it. Don't stop. We grew up with this idea that retirement is a few chickens and baking your own bread. That's not true. You can still do that. But if you want to start a sewing circle or whatever it is you want to do it. Do it. Don't stop.
Wonderful. I am so glad that you've mentioned when you retire, don't stop. Keep on going. I really believe
Yeah,
that is so important.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, 7 years now that I'm doing this work. And if I look at my mom at the same age, I have a feeling she was old. We have so much opportunity.
Absolutely. Kobe,
Yeah.
thank you so much. It was such a pleasure chatting to you now today. So I am so glad that you've crossed my path,
Yes,
in
wonderful.
inspire me in this way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Linda, for this opportunity. I love it.
Thank
I
you.
love my work. Yes, thanks.